And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. As always, visit www.galacticfriedchicken. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Go to the app. They will deliver it pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Or get to Galactic Fried Chicken tomorrow. Get there about noon. Get you a to-go order. Get home. Get ready for the Bearcats to take on Memphis.
And there goes your audio. But you can pick that up, eat it for the Bearcats game. It's hot enough that if you don't finish it for the Bearcats game, it'll probably still be warm.
Still be hot for the Bengals game.
Switch your audio over.
Jeez.
Yep. Everything going bananas over there. But also, don't forget to check out See to Beat magazine. They're up for 4 different awards for Galactic Fried Chicken. Make sure you vote for 20 different things, and that will make those votes count for Galactic Fried Chicken.
Am I fixed now? Am I better?
You're all good.
Okay.
I stepped in. That was seamless, right?
Yeah. Good work. Good work. If I even look at the microphone connection to the mic, it just goes out. I don't even have to touch it. I just have to be, my thumbs have to be in the vicinity, and it'll go out. All right, we've got a lot to get to. Bearcats Memphis tomorrow. This is a big one for a lot of different reasons. Mm-hmm. It kind of has an opportunity to set the tone, good or bad, for the remainder of the conference schedule. We'll get to all that in a moment. I have something I want to get off my chest first. So it was made public, I believe, yesterday. I don't know what day it is anymore, but I think it was yesterday.
It's fair.
That the 2011-12 team, the Sweet 16 team, would be back in the building for the Memphis game tomorrow, and that they'd be honored. Which at a game, what that amounts to is walking out onto the court for 90 seconds. They say, "Welcome back."
All the guys will get to sign the wall. Right?
Yeah, all the guys will get to sign the wall. They'll say, "Welcome back to the 2012 Sweet 16 Bearcats." And everybody will go, "Hey!" And the players will wave, and they'll soak up a little bit of love, and then they'll walk off the court, and then they'll watch the rest of the game. They'll probably hang around afterwards and chat for a little while and catch up and be around the program, and that'll be the extent of it. And people are mad.
Why are people mad?
We don't honor Sweet 16 teams around here. We don't. That's ridiculous. What are they having a Sweet 16 team back here? That's a Sweet 16.
It's weak, right?
It is weak. That take is as weak as it humanly can possibly get. You have a team there's been a lot of people on Bearcat Journal that, and you don't really think of it this way, but that was 10 years ago. We've got a lot of members now. We've hit hard on that 25 to 30 age range, right? So these are all people that were teenagers. This was being a UC fan through their teenage years. They love that team. For a lot of people, that's the team that got them into UC basketball. That was the fight year.
There's so many pieces from that team though that made up other teams that, my age range, we all loved watching that team. And They had all of the pieces from SK to Justin Jack. There's a lot of bridges to different teams.
Yancey, Dion, Park, Cash.
Right, on that particular team.
Look, get over yourself. Quit gatekeeping the fan base and telling people what they can and cannot enjoy from a meaningless. They're not retiring. They're not putting a banner on the wall for that team.
Well, if you want to talk about retiring, maybe they should talk about retiring SK's number. But
there's a couple in front of it. We've talked about that. Yeah. I think SK should be in line for that. But Danny Fortson, Steve Logan, there's a line. Not that SK doesn't deserve it, but But anyhow, I don't care about that. Shut up. Just shut up. If you're not going to clap, okay, good for you.
Well,
congratulations.
People clamored and wanted to know why Cincinnati didn't have guys like Kenyon Martin coming back. Well, you have to repair not just the relationships with the greatest player ever, but the relationship with all of the alumni. It's been damaged, and I don't think that's a secret. It had been damaged over the years for whatever reason, under whatever coach regime. It doesn't really matter. But the relationships had been damaged, and now you have the opportunity under Coach Wes Miller to continue to rebuild those relationships. Why wouldn't you want to bring guys in just to get clapped for, get some recognition for the shit they did on campus, and just go about their lives as being honored?
What happens when you do that? Then all of a sudden, they're back all in on UC. Not that we're ever all out on UC, but like you feel wanted. You feel appreciated. You feel like what you did here still matters. Well, and then you become more engaged.
SK has felt slighted, and he's coming back. He's been back only, I don't know that he's been back more times than Kenyon Martin. They've both been back over the course of the last decade or so.
I only remember SK being back once, maybe.
When he came back with Jacob Evans?
I don't know that SK and Jake never, that was Troy. I don't know that SK's been in Fifth Third Arena. Because he's been playing overseas, like during the basketball season.
I thought he sat in Oscar's seats once when I was there.
Maybe.
In any case, my point is you have the opportunity to restore a relationship with a great player who has felt slighted because his number is not up in the rafters. He's not been shy about talking about that. And why not? Why not? What does it matter that you're bringing people out to clap for that? You brought new coach Scott Satterfield, who has nothing to do with basketball, but you brought him out to recognize him. You bring people who do different things just to honor and clap, not raising a banner, not putting a plaque up, not any of these things.
Putting him in the Hall of Fame.
By the way, even if you did want to put a plaque up saying they made it to the Sweet 16, here's a picture, here's then and now, whatever, but who cares? Why does any of this matter?
Get over yourself. If you legitimately are upset about this, get over yourself.
Well, if you're only going to do this for Final Fours and better, you're not going to have a whole lot of teams that you can bring back. The championship teams from the 60s, I don't know how many of those guys are still with us.
Surprisingly more than you would think, but not yeah.
You're only going to be able to do that for so much longer, right?
Right. Just get over yourself.
So other than that, are you only going to bring back the Final Four team? What are we doing?
If we're talking about putting teams in the Hall of Fame, yeah, Final Four, championships. Yes. Sure. We're talking about having them stand at center court and have people clap for them for 90 seconds. Yeah, bring them all back. Bring every team that made the tournament back 10 years after they made the tournament. This is the 2014 tournament team. Hey.
Who cares?
So stupid.
You have 16, 17, 18 home games of which to try and fill with things to engage the audience.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah. So dumb. Anyhow, Memphis. This is a big game here. Like
huge.
This could set the tone for the rest of the season. If you can win this game, you get a week off, you go to Houston, you'll have won, I think, 5 in a row. UCF lost today to USF. If you beat Memphis, that gives Memphis 3 conference losses. You've already beaten Tulane once. You kind of jockey yourself into position to where, like, okay, we're going to be the team to beat for second place as we go through the second half of conference play. I think there'll be 10 conference games left. This will be the 8th tomorrow. Something like that.
To correct you, this will be the 4th win in a row if they do win.
4th win in a row.
Okay. The loss to Houston came before East Carolina, SMU, and South Florida. So this will be the 4th in a row. There are also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left. So good job there. We talked about this though. I think on I don't remember which show it was on at this point. And I don't even know that I was involved in the conversation. I have no idea. But somebody had said, if you want to be the second best conference in the second best team in the conference, you have to beat the second best team in the conference. And I don't think right now prior to this game, there's an argument outside of maybe UCF, and we have
Again,
two
they
opportunities.
lost today to South Florida.
And we have two opportunities to beat UCF as well. But if you're trying to put yourself in a position to be the second best team, sure, you have to beat the second best team.
Yes.
So
I
don't know.
think
I'm with
Tulane's
you.
only lost twice as well. I think Tulane lost to Cincinnati and Houston, and that's it for them.
Now, obviously, Memphis is suffering through several injuries, one of which to Penny's own son, Jaden. And again, Memphis fans are going to argue, well, you didn't beat the best team that we could have put out there and all of that. But you have to beat the team that's in front of you.
Without John Newman and Rob Finney. So
you have to beat the team that's in front of you, period, and dot.
Yeah. Couple things about Memphis. One, they're not a great team on the road, especially in conference. They've played, I believe, 3 conference road games going into this. They lost at UCF, they lost at Tulane, and they beat Temple by 2 on the road. This will be their 4th road game in conference.
Yes.
They're 1-2 and could have lost the 3rd one. They are trending down. If you look at their metrics, some of that I'm sure is as the injuries have kind of piled up. And Jaden Hardaway is solid, but more importantly, Alex Lomax, who sounds like he's going to be out a while, and then Malcolm Dandridge, who potentially could be back tomorrow. And if we know how Cincinnati sports works, it's always the guys that are hurt always come back when they play Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Almost
without Lomax and Hardaway, though, you're losing 27 games of starters material for this season alone. But they're not the ones that I'm necessarily worried about. I'm worried more, even if the center Dandridge is back. And they struggled with him last year.
He's good.
He was definitely good against Cincinnati last year. That said, there's 2 guys I'm worried about on this team. Kendrick Davis averaging just over 21 a game, almost 6 assists a game. Not shooting great from 3 this year.
He's never been a great 3-point shooter. He's been okay at times. He's a volume guy. He's taken, how about this, Aaron? He's taken 298 shots.
That's crazy.
The next closest is DeAndre Williams with 225. And then the closest after that is Keontae Kennedy with 125. He's taken essentially 175 more shots
than
the guy
Cincinnati?
that's third on the list.
Who leads Cincinnati in that stat?
I think it's JD.
I wondered if it was going to be Davenport, and I didn't want it to be Davenport, and maybe I shouldn't have asked that question. But
I'll look it up real quick. But I'm pretty sure it's JD.
Kendrick Davis also averaging almost 35 minutes a game. The other one that I'm worried about, DeAndre Williams, a forward, just over 16 points a game, almost 16 and a half, over 7.5 rebounds a game.
Correction. JD leads in 3-pointers. Landers,
Shocker.
DeJulius has 244 field goal attempts. Nolly has 229.
Okay. Just curious to compare the stat, but yeah, almost 50 more shots than Cincinnati's closest. Or over 50. More.
Over 50, yeah. Well, here's the thing. And this is when I was looking this up, this is kind of what blew me away. Kendrick Davis has scored 402 points on the season. DeAndre Williams, 311. How many points do you think the third most has scored?
150.
141. So there is a significant drop-off.
Huge.
Significant drop-off between their top 2 guys and everybody else. Kendrick Davis UC has done a good job historically on Kendrick Davis. I think he had 1 game last year where he went off for SMU. If you don't know, Kendrick Davis is same Kendrick Davis that has been at SMU for the past 3 years. Yeah. Now he's at Memphis for his final season. They've done a good job on him. What makes me feel even better, Aaron, they've played recently 3 really good smaller guards.
Yeah.
And if you go back to the non-conference, Antonio Davis, who is going to finish as the number 2 scorer in NCAA basketball history. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
That's what I hear.
And then you've had the last 2 games, they've had, Tyler Harris and the name's escaping me on the other smaller guard.
From SMU.
No, not from SMU, from
East Carolina.
I don't remember. I'm an idiot.
Javon
Anyhow,
Small.
yeah. They've done a really good job handling smaller league guards this year defensively. So Davis is going to get his shots. That's how they're going to operate. But if you can slow him down, and more importantly, make him inefficient, where he has to take 18, 20 shots, and he will if you let him. He has to take 18, 20 shots to get his 15, 16, 18 points or whatever. They are out rebounded on the season. Opponents are averaging, I think, 1 more rebound a game. They don't have super high assist numbers. So if you play the type of offense we've seen from them lately, where they're crisp and they're moving the ball, and they're making that Memphis defense move, and they're not just standing around, this is a game I think they should win.
Courtesy of Brent, things to watch out for with Kendrick Davis. He has scored in the 30s in 2 games this year.
He gets to the free throw line a ton.
He also, against Cincinnati in the 21 AAC tournament, dropped 35 when playing for SMU.
I do remember that one.
He's hurt Cincinnati. There's certainly a case to be made for that. That said, everyone else right now in the projected starting lineup, you have Keontae Kennedy, who should not be a stranger to Cincinnati, as he did transfer. He was a Xavier transfer. 8.3, and that's your highest total of the rest of the guys in the starting lineup. Elijah McCadden, 6.4, and
young guy
I'm
shooter.
I'm just going to call him KAE because I have no idea how to put any of those syllables together. Another one of their forwards there averages just under 3. So, yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's going to have to – we can't see Victor Locking come out and be an emotional basket case again. I think he would admit that he was not proud of his emotional performance more than anything in Cincinnati's last outing. And you got to continue the hot hand with DeJulius and Landers Nolly, more importantly.
This is a game that Micah could get going to. He's going to have a smaller guy on him. So, yeah, I'm not saying this is a game they will win, but I think they're playing better than Memphis right now. I think they're at home. Memphis has not been good on the road. It should be a pretty good crowd. I think people are going to fill the place up pretty good and then go watch the Bengals afterwards. But I think this is a game that Cincinnati needs to win. Like, you need to be able to go out there and say, look, we're the second best team in this conference, and we're putting everybody else on notice. And that's how you do it. All right, let's get out of here. See everybody tomorrow. Well, I won't see everybody tomorrow. You guys have fun at the game. I'll be watching from afar, as will Aaron, just a little bit farther afar. Further afar. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya! Hooday.